Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're playing Superstar JYP and Superstar STAYC. Gonna be going over the May 2nd, 2024 updates where we've got some new limited themes, but other than that, not too much going on in comparison to last week and the Spring Festival. So just giving everyone a heads up, we will be putting the update videos out on Friday morning. That at least gives me some time on Thursday to take a look at the information, kind of play around with the events and such, and then hopefully have something a little bit better on Friday morning. But with that being said, let's go ahead hop into Superstar JYP. And one thing I don't really talk about because I usually update the videos on Thursday is this weekend special sale. So what do I think about this? I generally don't think this is ever worth it. Why? Because everything in these packages is somewhat of a farmable resource. Now, I know that sounds kind of crazy because there's like tickets involved, and these tickets you can only get from like star passes or premium star passes, but hear me out here. So when we look at the special power-up support package, there is the ×2 RP bonus ticket that gives you ×2 the amount of RP while you play for 30 minutes. But basically, that's the same thing as saying just play the song twice and then you get ×2 the RP, or play the song once and then watch the ad and then you get ×2 RP. So for 30 minutes, I wouldn't be spending any amount of money on this. Looking at the 50% power up chance ticket, these are really good and I like them, but for 30 minutes, I can't justify paying money for them, right? I would rather just use twice the RP resources. Again, RP is farmable, instead of using one of these tickets, or at least paying for one of these tickets. Getting these tickets for free, I'm totally okay with that, but spending money on them is not a good idea in my opinion. So everything else in here, the card packs, the power-up chance tickets, the 100% power-up card even, can technically be like a farmable resource as long as you're willing to put the time in to gain the RP. It's not like any of these things are diamonds, which is usually the thing that's worth actually spending dollars on. Now, when we look at the support packages too, think about the other things you can buy for this dollar value. For example, this special power-up support package is $29.99, and then if you look at the Star Pass here, the Spring Festival Star Pass, you can get that for $29.49, and then you get an A-grade card selector, you get some power-up cards, you get some diamonds, you get some limited themes, you get some RP, so you get a lot more as long as you're willing to put the effort in for the Star Pass than you do with the weekend special sale. And then even looking at the other one here, so the secondary package there, the power-up support package, is about $12, and you get some ×2 RP bonus tickets, but for $12, you might as well just go and buy the membership. So if we go here, Spring Festival membership, for $13, $1 more, you can get 500 diamonds, which is way more valuable for your dollar than all those farmable resources. So just giving y'all a heads up that when I think about the weekend special shop, it's really up to you if you think the time saving is worth it, but really it's just RP resources, and RP resources are technically farmable. Looking at the new limited themes, we have a new limited theme for Jihyo in Closer. Now, Jihyo is considered a 3-member soloist group, and that means the limited period point reward, you're only getting a Closer R-grade card, not a selector, and I generally don't like the ones that aren't selectors because you could end up with 2 of the 3 members and basically be stuck not being able to get that last one by the end of the event. So I really like the banners that give you selectors, not really the ones that it's just a random card. Again, it's only 3 cards, which isn't too hard to get, but it'll feel really bad if you get to the end of it all and only end up with 2 of the 3 cards with absolutely no way to select the missing one that you don't have. Looking at the rest of the banner though, it's some pretty standard stuff. There is the special package, which for $21 gets you an R-grade Closer theme guaranteed, as well as a premium pack 5 and 30,000 RP. Not really worth it in my opinion, because at the end of it, you really only end up with 1 card, and that's not worth $21 in my opinion. Looking at the profile package, it's the 3 profile pictures plus 50 diamonds and 30,000 RP for $12, or I'm sorry, $13. I generally don't recommend this unless you want the profile picture, just for like the aesthetics of your own profile. Then there's the Closer Starter Package, which for $7.50 gets you 100 diamonds and an A-grade card. Really good stuff. Really good value in my opinion, because it's basically like you're paying $7.50 for the card, and then you get some diamonds along the way. Then there's the Closer R-grade card, which is a random R-grade card of the 3 for 300 diamonds. Now, in general, to get to like a 90% chance, I think you need to pull on this like anywhere between 7 to 9 times. So just keep that in mind, that even though there's only 3 cards, you can run into duplicates. meaning that for 600 diamonds, you'll end up with the same card twice potentially. So just keep that in mind. And then finally, the nice thing about groups that have 4 or less members is that there is this card pack 30 where you can get a limited card using RP. So for 35,000 RP, you get 30 cards, and there is a chance that you can get the limited theme. Now just keep this in mind, but the chance of it isn't very high. So if we go to the drop odds and take a look at the closer card pack 30, well, I guess they didn't update the game that much, but basically there's like a 1.9 to 2% chance that any of the cards are going to be that Jihyo card. What that means is basically like 1 every 2 packs you should be getting a Jihyo limited theme card, but the other part of that is that it doesn't guarantee you a grade. It could be like C grade, it could be B grade. So if you're looking more for completion or collection, then this might be the pack for you, because you can just use RP, and I think it takes anywhere between like 10 to 15 pulls in order to get to like a 90 to 95% chance of getting the full set. So just keep that in mind. It is a farmable way of getting the limited theme, but it is going to take quite a few number of pulls there. Alright, looking at the mission event here, standard stuff here where when you clear the song 5 times in any mode, you do get a closer A grade card, but because Jihyo is considered only like a 3 card group, by getting A grade cards, you don't get additional chances at the limited theme, you just end up with these random S grade cards. So just keep that in mind, it's a little bit harder to get closer theme cards. Mission 3 is just going to be the random one where basically as long as you play the game, you're going to complete this just by playing the game. One weird thing about this particular mission event that in comparison to the other Jihyo events is that you only get 1 wallpaper. In the previous Jihyo mission events, you got 3 wallpapers. So if we look at the shop here and then go into the lobby wallpaper, an event wallpaper, so you can see just the 1 Jihyo wallpaper there. And by the way, it's kind of funny because this is the wallpaper for closer, and I think this is the closest it gets on Jihyo's face for the wallpaper. But if we look back to previous mission events, ones that I've completed, so for example, this one here, the Jihyo room wallpaper, I got 3 wallpapers for completing that mission event. Now, I'm not really sure if it was just a cost thing, if they didn't find any value in making 3 different wallpapers, but basically you're getting 2 less wallpapers than you would normally get from a Jihyo event. So just keep that in mind when it comes to pulling for this event. It is definitely a closer picture, that's for sure, but you're only getting 1 wallpaper. Moving on to the next limited theme, we've got Xdinary Heroes Little Things. So this is a standard OT6 banner, which is nice because at OT6 you do get the R grade card selector for the limited period point reward. It's really good for, again, you get all the way to the end, you've got 5 of the 6 members, but you do have a selector, and then you just pick that 6th member and you completed your OT6. So really good stuff there. Other than that, there is the special package, which for $21 you get an S and an A grade card, which I personally find more valuable than the 1 R grade card from a soloist set. And then there is the profile set, the starter package. Both of those are very similar to the Jihyo one. Now, the nice thing about OT6 is that this is where we start getting the R package, where you get an R grade card as well as 2 A grade cards. And that's really good because in an OT6 group, you could technically pull on this twice and actually get the full set. So I really like 6-member groups or above because of the R package as well as the R grade card selector, and Xdinary Heroes is right at that 6-member group number, which is really good. And then there is the Little Things A grade card, for which 150 diamonds you get an A grade card. Again, this is going to be the best way to complete your collection because you get more cards for your diamonds by the end of the event. However, just keep this in mind, you need the A grade cards to complete the mission event, but the R grade cards are also pretty important for completing the mission event because they boost up your score. Looking at the mission event itself, so really standard stuff, clear the song 5 times and then get an A grade card of the limited set. Now, mission 2 is a little different than the Jihyo one because as you get Xdinary cards, as long as they're A grade or above, you can get additional Little Things limited cards. So this is really nice because I was just talking about pulling on that R package 2 times and potentially getting all the members. Well, at the very least, you're also getting these B grade cards to help you complete your collection. So OT6 groups are really good when it comes to collecting because you don't have to spend as many diamonds usually when you're trying to complete the set. And then the nice thing about the Xdinary Heroes banner, something I'm noticing here, is that upon clearing all the missions, you get the wallpaper, but it looks like they put the signed CD raffle back into the mission event rather than putting it in the special package. So I'm not really sure if they got just like a lot of criticism for the whole special package needing to spend actual dollars versus this where you could spend diamonds and RP and then potentially enter yourself in the raffle. So I'm not really sure if this change was brought about by criticism or if they just found people weren't buying the special packages, so it wasn't worth getting the signed CDs. I'm not really sure, but just a heads up, it looks like we might be back to signed CD raffles being in the mission event. One thing I do want to touch on though is I don't know if clearing the mission event and getting yourself into the raffle means that you have to have an address in Korea, because we saw it in these special packages where you had to have an address in Korea in order for them to ship to you. So just keep that in mind. I don't have any information on this. If you know if you have to have an address in Korea to win these signed CD raffles from the mission event, let me know in the comments below. Alright, moving on to some other things. We have a card star pass for $14 in Superstar JYP, and basically it's a bunch of random limited theme cards if you buy the premium pass. Other than that, if you're just going to stick to the free-to-play route, you are just getting a bunch of cards along the way, which is nice for things like leveling up or not needing to farm for those resources, or even the special train event where you have to get like A grade cards, S grade cards. So this is really up to you, because this is all just a gamble, to be honest. Like, yes, you'll end up with a ton of limited cards if you buy the premium pass, but I'd much rather buy a premium pass where I get like a ton of diamonds at the end or a selector by the end of it. So just keep that in mind when it comes to paying for this premium pass. Alright, we also have the premium selector package. Now this one again costs a lot of real life money, so I don't really recommend it. But any of these basically you can buy for a set amount of dollars, and then you get a selector. So it could be a selector for a wallpaper, it could be a selector for a profile picture, a selector for a card even, but it does get kind of expensive, especially if you're thinking about completing a group. Then you might need a lot of those card selectors, or this might influence you down the line to buy into like star passes or buy into other packages that get you an A grade card selector so you can complete your set. So just keep that in mind. This costs real money. I generally don't think it's worth it, but if you find value in it, if you really want to get that certain wallpaper or that certain profile picture, definitely by all means figure out what your budget is and go from there. Alright, so some things I want to touch up on from the Spring Festival last week. So it is week 2, that means we do have a new mission event, and again, complete this as much as possible because this is free resources, free cards, free diamonds, free RP, free power-up tickets, and again, you didn't have to spend any money on the weekend special sale. You just have to play the game. So I really like these holiday mission events because it's a lot of free rewards and all you got to do is play the game. Always make sure you're checking the petal collecting, because this is free resources that could potentially be free diamonds. So let's go ahead and open it in Superstar JYP and see what we get. Lately, I've only been getting RP, but that's still fine because that's a lot of songs that we didn't have to play. In this case, we got 24,000 RP, which is like me having to play like 24 songs. So I really like the box. Even if I'm only getting RP out of it, I still find good value in it. Alright, I don't really want to touch upon the other things except for the power-up chance ticket gift. Now you do have to collect this gift during the weekend. If you don't, it expires in your mailbox and you miss out on it. But as far as I know, you do get to keep the ticket in case you wanted to use it in the future. And then the last thing I want to touch upon for the Spring Festival stuff is this spring train trip. Now I've been working really hard on this, and as you can see, I'm at 243 trips, and I'm only halfway there, and we're more than halfway through the event. So just keep that in mind. This requires quite a bit of investment in order for you to complete it all. Let's go ahead and collect these while we're here. And yeah, just keep that in mind that this train thing is really good because as you can see, the rewards are like diamonds, it's cards, it's RP. In the train shop, you can get more diamonds. And then sometimes there's like special shops that pop up here that get you even more diamonds. Like it's potentially a lot of free diamonds as long as you're willing to invest the time. But it takes a lot of time. So try and complete that as much as possible. If you think you've completed one of these trips or one of these objectives, make sure you collect it and then reset the whole thing, because you never know when you're going to run into objectives that overlap. So for example, these successfully power up cards, even if it's S grade, even if it's B grade, they do overlap. So if I power up an S grade card 3 times, it's going to count for both of those power up B grade card objectives. So just keep that in mind. Try and bundle up as many missions or objectives as you can all at once. That way you're just getting through it efficiently. Alright, I think the last thing for Superstar JYP that we need to talk about is these winner announcements. So we have the Day 6 mission event, Welcome to the Show winner announcement. So these are the 5 winners for the Welcome to the Show winner announcement. This is for the raffle. I believe it was for the signed CD. So congratulations to everyone who won the signed CD. And then we do have the NiziU So Perfect special package winner announcement. Now these are people that bought the special package and then won the raffle. So congratulations to everyone here who won the signed Polaroid. Again, there's only one of these in the world per member, so I hope it becomes a very important, treasured part of your K-pop collection. Alright, moving on into Superstar STAYC. So we talked about the Spring Festival stuff already. We talked about the Weekend Special Package. I'm not going to overlap those here. Instead, we're just going to talk about the limited theme. Now, the nice thing about Superstar STAYC is that you can always view the limited theme from the homepage if you click that banner up there. So this is a bigger version of the limited card. So if you like this theme, by all means, go for it. It's really about the aesthetics, because when we look at the banner itself, it's nothing crazy. So let's go ahead and head over to missions. Let's check out the banner. And nothing too crazy here. Just like with Xdinary Heroes, STAYC is a 6-membered group. That means once you stack up 250 points for the limited period point reward, you do get an R grade card selector. And again, selector's really good just for picking that last member in case you don't get them. I've had this happen to me many times where I've pulled on the banner. I ended up with 5 of the 6 members. For some reason, the member I was missing most of the time ended up being Sumin, so I'm not really sure if that's just the game taunting me, but the selector does come in handy a lot when it comes to trying to complete these sets here. There is the profile set for $10 that just nets you the profile pictures. And then there is the starter package, which I personally like in Superstar STAYC. For $7.50, you get 100 diamonds and a limited theme prism card. Now remember, prisms in Superstar STAYC do generally give you about a 10% bonus in score. So if you have a full set of prism cards, that's an extra 10% on score. And that can be the make or break between you either ranking up or completing a certain mission tier. So just keep that in mind, that the prism card is really good. For the first 3 days of the banner, there is the 3-day limited celebration package, which for $10 gets you a theme guaranteed. It's a 5 times chance for prism, but that doesn't really add up to much because it's still less than a 25% chance of getting a prism. So you might as well spend your money on the starter package and get that guaranteed prism. And then there is going to be the special package, which for $23 gets you 2 of the limited theme cards, as well as a card pack 10 that potentially gets you the limited theme. Honestly, I don't really find myself buying into these packages very often. I don't really think that they're worth it, especially again when you can use that money for other things like the memberships, the star passes, things like that. But if you need to complete the event, if you need to get the points for the point reward, by all means, I totally understand. I've done it before. I totally get you. All right, moving on to the diamond packages for the I Want You theme. So this is what most people are going to be pulling on. Again, this is not going to guarantee you any prisms. You could collect the whole limited set but not end up with any prisms. So if you're like a super collector and you need the prisms, this is going to be very, very tough. But if you're looking to just complete the set, it took me about 2,500 diamonds and 2 selectors in order to guarantee like the full set of stuff and enough to complete the mission event. I completed the set actually after like 1,200 diamonds, but then I didn't have enough points to beat the mission event. So I had to spend like an additional 1,300 diamonds to complete the mission event to get that second selector, get that second R grade card. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for completion, you could get lucky and only have to spend like 1,500 or 1,500 diamonds, but if you need to complete the set, get the wallpaper or the reward or whatever, you're looking closer to about 2,500 RP, or I'm sorry, 2,500 diamonds. Alright, moving into the mission event itself. So standard stuff here, complete the song 5 times and then you get the A grade card. For every single member of STAYC that you get that is A grade or above for the limited set, you do get a B grade card, which is nice. Again, helping you complete that set if you care more about completing the set rather than completing the mission event. And then once you complete the mission event, there is just going to be a wallpaper associated with it, so not like a signed CD raffle, nothing like that. So if you really like this wallpaper, I totally get it. I like the aesthetic of this wallpaper, so if it's your aesthetic, if you really like it, if you want to make it your background, by all means, totally go for it. I understand. Just keep in mind though, for Superstar STAYC, anniversary is going to be this month, if not next month, so you might want to save up your diamonds for whenever that stuff drops. But with that being said, that is the end of this video. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave a comment down below and I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. That's all for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, until next time, take it easy.